On this week's show, we will be reviewing 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, and we'll also have a chat about the new Star Trek show, Starfleet Academy, and whether or not it's the savior of Star Trek. Spoiler, it's not. So, stick around. Hello and welcome to Middle Age Geeks. I'm one of your hosts, Daz, and I'm joined as always by my trusty co-host, Philly. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah. Happy Sunday to you, or whatever day it is that we're recording, because we're so prepared. No, I'm doing good. Good week. Some funky news as well this week with regards to cool trailers and whatnot. So it should be good.
Yeah,
how about
absolutely.
you?
And very good. Man United won yesterday, which was just sets you up for a really good week. It's just like, takes the edge off. It's fucking great.
Well, seldom is wonderful.
I know, yeah. Okay, so then let's get stuck into some news. What news is jumping out at you this week?
So the main thing, obviously, you're going to bring up some trailers, but the main thing for me was the casting for God of War TV show. We've got a couple of the casting news and that. So first, we had Ryan Hurst, who's going to play Kratos. So for Ryan Hurst, for anybody who's watched Sons of Anarchy will know the character Obi. Or he was also in what's called The Walking Dead from some of the later seasons. Fucking huge dude by all accounts. He's just all dizzy to sound. He's super cool as well, apparently. So he's playing Kratos. Was good to see getting a bit of encouragement from Christopher Judge, who posted him on Instagram. And then Theresa Palmer, the Australian actress, she is playing Sif.
Oh, nice.
So I haven't seen her in anything in a while, so I'm looking forward to that. She's great. That's it really. I think the other bit of news I think you were going to bring up was the trailer for The Bride.
Yeah, trailer for The Bride dropped, and I actually saw it in the cinema before this week's movie. And it's a fucking banging trailer. It's incredible. I forgot that this was in the works. Maggie Gyllenhaal. I thought it was her directorial debut, but it's her second effort. I didn't see her previous movie from 2001. But yeah, it's cracking cast like Christian Bale, Jessie Buckley, and the timing actually of releasing a trailer with Jessie Buckley in it at this time. The marketing team must have been just like fucking brilliant. She's eating up award season. Like, let's drop it right now. But there's Jake Gyllenhaal, Annette Bening, Peter Sarsgaard. It's the visuals are just fantastic. It's like the premise alone. It's like I think their logline was like a lonely Frankenstein travels to 1930s Chicago to ask a groundbreaking scientist to create a companion for him, and they revive Jessie Buckley's murderous bride. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, just the Bride of Frankenstein remake, basically.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, just bring it on. I just absolutely love it. And the music is just fantastic. Did you check it online, or was it?
No, I'd seen it, but I'd seen the first trailer, obviously, and then this one. Then obviously it was on before this week's movie. So yeah, it's class. The music is just fucking thumping. I love it. So stylized. I love that kind of looks. It's almost like a mixture of like whether it's makeup, like lipstick or blood, whatever the stain she has, which I assume she'll have for the whole movie, I guess. But yeah, there's just some really cool stylistic choices. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. Like, it could be a disaster. I'd hate it for Jessie Buckley if it was, because she's doing so well right now. But like, it's great. And obviously Jake Gyllenhaal's going to be in it as well. It's it looks good. It looks really good. And it's not too far away. I think it's March when it comes out.
Oh, superb. Yeah. It's just really, really fantastic trailer. A few other bits of news, small bits. Avatar 3, Fire and Ash, actually seems to have stalled at the box office at 1.2 million. A lot lower than expected. A billion, sorry. 1.2 billion. Which, like, after a reported budget of 400 million, it would have to have made kind of $1 billion to break even. So hasn't made that much money. And James Cameron has actually said, like, he'll only now make 4 and 5 if he can reduce the budget to make these things. And also if he just becomes a better writer, that'd be absolutely fantastic as well. And on other news, Netflix has now committed to a 45-day cinematic window for Warner Brothers movies, which is great because it was reports that they were reducing it down to 12 days, 15 days. So that'll be good to try and get people out into cinemas. And another little bit, outgoing Lucasfilm head and overlord Kathleen Kennedy said in her kind of exit speech that she said a lot of stuff, but the main one was there is more Indiana Jones coming, which everyone was kind of like, what? Did the last Indiana Jones, the fucking dial of whatever, was a significant flop? Like, no one saw it.
Video games,
anymore.
like.
Yeah, because it's brilliant. The movie's kind of stalled. Yeah, so that was and one last one. There was a first look at Sophie Turner as Lara Croft. Image was put up online for the TV show by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and she looks fucking badass. She looks brilliant. It's really throwback to the 1990s version of the character, which looks superb, and not aligning with the recent kind of survival Lara Croft games. But that image, she just looks the part, brilliant with glasses on and everything. It's just like, yeah, fucking class. Okay, with the news out of the way, let's get stuck into what we've been watching and playing. And this week, it's a little change to our normal format because we both watched the new Star Trek Fleet Academy show. And we had to talk about it because I haven't been able to think about anything else since seeing this. Phil, did you see it? Did you get through it? And what was your thoughts on this amazing show?
I couldn't do 2 episodes, man. I got through the first one as I went, like, I'll do it. I can do this. But I couldn't. Like, when you say it's been nothing, I've been able to think, get it out of your mind. It's like, in the most horrible way. Like, it's the opposite way of not being able to get Hamnet out of your mind, where it keeps just popping up. But this is just like it's following me around every corner. Like, I'm terrified it's going to pop up on a screen somewhere. I guess I'm not really on the whole. I don't really care too much about it. It's not Star Trek because Star Trek is Gene Roddenberry's dead, long dead. You know what I mean? Star Trek is whatever the people who own it want to make it. That kind of side of it, I don't really get. It's not my cup of tea. It's not what I would like when I watch Star Trek, and that's where I'm coming from. I didn't enjoy it. Like, it really seems to be just Star Trek under name only. Like, this is more like a teen kind of comedy kind of thing. Like, all the every beat is just so predictable. The stuff with there's going to be the 2 guys after the one girl, and the dickhead and the other guy who'll probably end up becoming friends in the end, and all this kind of shit. Just like, it's painful. Like, some of the dialogue, man, is just like that half Jem'Hadar, half Klingon chick. Like,
she's just annoying, obnoxious, angry character, and it's just like, she's like the number 2. She's the second in command to the captain. Just like, am I supposed to hate your guts? Is that it? What are you going for here? There's no nuance or anything. It's just like one note. I'm a fucking angry bitch, and it's just like, what the fuck? What are you doing? Like, she was atrocious. Yeah, what do you think of Holly Hunter?
I love her. I as an actor, I really do. I think she's great. But again, in this, she's like, she keeps contorting in her chair and everything. Like, she's sitting like if you give like a child a big huge book and they go and sit in the corner in their beanbag and they're fucking, that's what it looks like. She's on this big giant chair and she's sitting halfway over it. And plus, why is she wearing glasses? Aren't we like in fucking 2000 whatever years in the future, whatever the fuck it is? Like, what? Nobody had glasses in the other Star Wars because apparently that had been fixed by now. Why is she wearing glasses? And at one point she takes them off. She's on the view screen. She goes over to look. She takes them off.
Glasses, yeah.
Yeah. And she just hands them to the first officer who's not even anywhere near her seat. Your one's like, all right, just puts them away. The way you just hand your glasses to someone else. It's really, I don't know. And I know we use this phrase a lot, Des, but I'm not sure who this is for.
No.
Oh yeah.
What
about you?
I haven't a clue. I fucking loved it. Within 2 minutes, I turned it off. And like the initial opening kind of 6 minutes is just a flashback to set things in motion. It took me 4 attempts to get through that 6 minutes.
That's probably the best 6 minutes as well.
It's the best 6 minutes of the show. It's unbelievable. But like, who was this for? But Paramount Plus released this free, the first episode free on YouTube. Because it absolutely screams desperation. But like, and they announced when it was going to premiere live on YouTube, and only 1,300 people watched it live. There was someone else on YouTube. Yeah. I think like about 80,000 watched it eventually, but when it was live, it's premiering now. Yeah, 1,300 people watched it, and someone else put a post up at around the same time saying just to see what viewership he could get, and he put an action figure of like James C. Kirk just on camera on a seat, and just told people about it, and he got more views than the show. Like he just played that for like an hour and a half, which is just shocking. But it's not even because it's the opening is like it's just astonishingly badly conceived. It's kind of marly incoherent with what Star Trek is and the Federation is, and it just makes no sense. It's a show that I think the only thing it has to do with Star Trek is the fact that they just mention the Federation from time to time. Everything else is just bananas. Like the opening scene has them just separating a family that were on trial for like stealing food, and the like Paul Giamatti, who's like, I was loving the fact that he's in it, and he thinks he's in a Nickelodeon fucking teen fucking show or something. He's just like chewing the scenery, but just like completely over the top, maniacal, cartoonish villain. He plays a space pirate, and he's responsible for the death of someone on a freighter, and this mother and child are separated because they were with him openly and knowingly being preyed on by him. And it's just such contrived conflict and contrived drama in that opening sequence. I just thought it was shocking, and in that opening sequence, you have a 6-year-old boy steals Holly Hunter's comm badge and just escapes from prison, opens a vent off an outpost, and you're like, what? And they can't find him then for 15 fucking years. It's just like, oh my god, yeah,
just on the comm badge. Like these people who have got as far as getting to the Starfleet Academy, you've got to assume that they've had to pass exams and do whatever else to get onto it, right?
Tests.
Yeah, competency tests. Yeah. So there's this one of them that she's walking up and she's got no comm badge on. She goes, I swallowed my comm badge. She's like,
well, she says someone goes, doctor, yeah.
Yeah, she goes, I swallowed my comm badge. And he goes, on day one, as if it's something that happens regularly to people, but usually like, a few days in. How, why would you swallow? Like it's the size of a brooch.
Yeah.
Like, children wouldn't even put this thing into their mouth and swallow it by accident. This is insane. Why would this grown adult? And then she's walking around later just going, red alert, red alert, red alert. And what the fuck?
It's borderline kind of, it's almost like sketch comedy at times, like that, the comm badge thing. There's also sequences where I think this is in the second episode, like the first episode's bad, but the second episode makes the first episode look really good. The second episode is astonishingly bad. Like I'm about 24 minutes into it, and it's taken a full day to just try and get through that. Just 2 minutes at a time is the only way I can do it. But there's a scene like with, it's one of this scene is interesting for about 7 seconds because there's like almost like a treaty or an alliance gathering between Betazoid Council and Starfleet, and they're trying to have an alliance, and their wants and needs are not aligned, let's say. And you're kind of going, okay. But then in the background, there's Caleb, the guy, he's just like fidgeting with a zip on. He's trying to put on his jacket and he can't get the zip. And then he like catches the zip in his chest hair or something. And everyone's like, stop. Yeah. And you're just like, what's this for? And someone he likes is giggling at him and stuff. And you're just like, what? While this treaty thing is going on in the background, you're like, oh, what? Why are you drawing attention to this? And like the very next scene, this is Holly Hunter comes to the fore. She's an absurd character. She's just ridiculously weird and odd, and for no reason. The thing sitting around in her chair, like lounging around in her chair, like she's some kind of, yeah, I'm cool, I'm vibe, yeah, whatever. She gives nothing that screams a leader or anyone you would follow into battle or do anything she says, because she's just walking around with no fucking shoes on, just sitting around, she's very weird. But there's a scene where they're having more of this, the delegates are there, and they're trying to have a fucking an openly grown up chat, but then Holly Hunter is there, and it keeps on cutting to her, and she's like drinking someone else's drink, and someone's like, oh, what are you doing? And then she somehow cuts to her and she's sitting up on the table and she's fidgeting, and you're just like, is this writing for like this an ADHD generation or something? So it's like, why is all this happening? All these things are happening in this scene why can't people just stand there and just deliver their fucking lines? Just say your lines. It's like the creators are so terrified that their script is so boring. They have to just populated with all this kind of funny, giggly fucking nonsense that detracts from the actual point of the scene, which was kind of boring anyway. So I get why they're fucking trying to do it. It's baffling. But like, apart from the first two, or the main two characters, like I don't know anyone else's name, and I've watched some scenes multiple times, and I don't know anybody's fucking name, and that's such a weird thing with the writing of these shows. Same with Discovery. It's just like I don't know who the fuck these people are. But it's even the science. Like there's no. It's Star Trek, and they've lost the essence of Star Trek. Like I get the thing where people say, "Oh, it's not Star Trek" and stuff, but I would kind of push back and go, "Well, yeah, it isn't Star Trek because there's no science." Like you're saying, the reading glasses things makes no sense. In episode 2, there's someone going around in a wheelchair, and it's like, what the fuck is that all about? This is 1,100 years in the future. It's 800 years after Picard and Geordie LaForge, where he's blind in the Next Generation, but he can see because he's the visor. Like, what, 1,100 years in the future? Why is somebody in a wheelchair? But like, and why does everyone? Yeah, the science makes no sense. There's no teleportation anymore. It's just like people walk through a teleportation fucking screen or something, and it changes their clothes and gives your man a fucking haircut. It's like,
yeah, that was bizarre.
What was that about? It's just like, oh my god! The science is just lost. You've got their ship that like lands, and the saucer section detaches and becomes the Academy in San Francisco, which one of your favorite parts.
Like they're literally playing whatever terrible cover of the Mamas and the Papas, wasn't it, the original?
Yeah.
Going to San Francisco, and they're playing this fucking ballad kind of version of it, and you see the ship coming down and it spins around so we can see the Golden Gate Bridge and everything. And I was like, Jesus, we don't need the fucking song. Like, we can see where it is. There's another person on the planet who doesn't know where that fucking bridge is. That it's it's
just
no. I think we should just move on, Daz, because I'm going to get angry.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, this Star Trek has, it's people talking like they live in 2025 in the 32nd century. They're just like, the amount of times they're just like, bro, bitch, yeah, dude, whatever. And it's just like, fuck me sideways. But I'm going to still watch it because I just can't believe how bad it is. I just want to see how bad it gets. So did you watch or play anything else?
No, not really. No, I watched Dust Bunny, a movie by Brian Fuller. Came out recently enough.
Any good?
Which I really enjoyed. Mads Mikkelsen, and it's it's Brian Fuller directed and stuff, so you really get his whole style, which I love. You know, I love fucking Hannibal and Pushing Daisies and all that. Like, so this was, more of the same. That kind of real. It's got kind of a dark fairy tale kind of vibe to it. But I enjoyed it. It's good fun. And that's it. I haven't really played anything. I'm not really. There's no games on my radar until the end of February. Resident Evil.
Oh yeah. I haven't watched anything either. Just this and our movie. Playing wise, I'm still just playing Red Dead 1 on the Switch. So yeah, nothing really on that front. So yeah, with that out of the way, then let's get on to the main event, the movie review section. We're going to review 28 years later, The Bone Temple. Take it away, Philippe.
Yeah, cheers, Daz. This week it's The Bone Temple, which incidentally was the name of Daz's bachelor pad in New York. He named it. So this one is directed by Nia DaCosta. It's the fourth movie, I think, in the 28 days, weeks, years / whatever it is series, written by Alex Garland, who I absolutely adore. So I wanted to see what she could do with the script, and we've said that she's coming off the back of. Well, I don't think she's got a great repertoire. Like, so far, you've got the ones I've seen. I couldn't even sit through all of Hedda. I thought it was crap. Like, so you've got that before that. You've got the Marvels before that. Candyman. Yeah. None of them have done well. So it'll be interesting to go through now, Daz, and see in a minute now and see what you think. For those of you at home, we'll be doing a very spoiler-free section at the start, and then we'll have a few minutes at the end where we'll have some spoilers, but we'll give you plenty of warning. So I'll just give you a few details, Daz, and then we can get stuck into what you thought of it. It's this one that I said, directed by Nia DaCosta, written by Alex Garland. It's scored by the wonderful, and I'm going to butcher her name. It's Hildur Gudnadottir. You've won the here. I think I'm definitely gonna get that wrong. I'm pretty sure she might be doing this she might be doing the score for The Bride as well.
Nice.
Yeah, she's got a great list of credits under her name. It's starring Ralph Fiennes, Jack O'Connell, Alfie Williams, Erin Kellyman, Chi Lewis Perry, and Chi Lewis Perry's penis. Which I think actually where he is wearing a full body suit. Apparently for these things they're saying it takes like 6 hours or something to get him into it, and it can only be used once, so they have to do the whole thing like 25 times.
Wow.
Which is wild. This one has a budget of 63 mil, but as I said to you yesterday, Dad, it's not doing very well. I don't know if it's just because it's the time of year or what, or whether it's because the last one didn't do incredibly well either. But does make me slightly worried for the next one. Like, are we gonna get another one? I think it only made 13 million for the weekend, which isn't a lot. I think it's way less than what they predicted anyway. So that's like, what exactly were your feelings on this one before we get into specifics?
Yeah, well, I was a bit apprehensive going into this because of the end of the last movie, and which really pulled the rug out from under us and had us a little bit worried. And I hated the Marvels with a passion. So yeah, going into this, I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to go, but I thought this was great. I was genuinely pleasantly surprised with the movie because the way the previous movie ended on the final sequence, I felt completely out of left field. Something that really stuck out like a sore thumb. But fair play to Alex Garland and Mia, because I think this film actually nails the tone, and not only does it kind of justify that ending, it kind of reframes it in a way that suddenly makes sense, and the tone is well judged. And yeah, it's not a particularly scary movie. It's a few jump scares, but I thought it was terrifying in the fact of that group of Jimmies and what they get up to, led by Jack O'Connell, who was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And Ralph Fiennes is just mesmerizing when he's on screen. And it's just a really gory film, and especially the second half, it just ramped up and ended. The ending's fantastic, and I was smiling coming out of it, going, "Fuck yeah, that was." I was thinking during it, this is really good, but at the end, I started thinking this is actually fucking great, and I can't wait for the next one. Yeah, I was really enjoyed it. How about you?
Yeah, same. I actually prefer this to the last one. 28 years later,
Absolutely.
And I think that maybe, I know we're talking about the end of the last one, I'm sure the cat's out of the bag there. We're not spoiling anything by saying it's the Jack O'Connell and his bang of jimmies. But those, like, I just don't get why that needed to be the end of that one. Like, why not just have that scene at the start of this one and then have it as one cohesive thing rather than people going, unless the idea was to have people going, what the fuck is going on? Like,
to tease it or something.
I don't know. But yeah, no, I agree. I wasn't sure. I was like, are we going to see much of these? But you get it. Like, a lot of these kids aren't, they weren't born at the time where the outbreak would have happened, and stuff. So they've come across this almost false prophet kind of guy. And yeah, he is just absolutely fantastic. And this one is one of the more like graphic of person on person violence that we've
unbelievable.
Seen. Yeah, it's really, really thin. I actually wanted to ask you, did you prefer, because I know when we talked about the Danny Boyle one, I like the interjections of the kind of, the unrelated scenes kind of thing. If we're seeing the really using heavy red when we cut to the infected or whatever like that, and you were saying you weren't a massive fan of that because you'd be cutting to like some other show about or movie about soldiers or some shit and then cutting back into, and you were saying you weren't a fan. Did the fact that wasn't in it, did that enhance your enjoyment of this one?
Absolutely from a narrative point of view, it just kind of keeps you there. I mean, I don't know why that annoys me so much in the movies, because maybe I'm just start thinking about the editing of it and I wonder why they put that in there, and it just kind of takes you out of the movie for a little bit. Where in this, it's just there's moments where it doesn't go that far, but it goes kind of handheld and like the kind of the body cam where it's locked onto somebody facing their face as they walk around, and even that sometimes is overused in other movies, but here it's used, it's I think predominantly on Samson himself when he's kind of walking around, and he has a kind of character arc which is astonishing.
Yeah, like
and that kind of works for him.
Yeah, I think he's brilliant. Like I don't know him from much else, but I because he, like I said, if anybody's seen the first one, you know he's not fucking saying a whole lot. So yeah, it's a lot of mostly physical acting and stuff. But some of the stuff that the camera's on his face when Ralph Fiennes is trying to get through to him or see what's in there and stuff, and you can see the internal like torment on his face and stuff. He's a lot to do. It's all physical acting for him, and I thought he was great. Really, really did.
Yeah, he has quite a bit of range in this, and there's a lot asked of him in this movie, which is brilliant. And he has there's so many lovely things in it, where the fact that the movie starts out predominantly on the Jimmies and kind of setting up them, but then there's kind of this dual narrative where it's their story and Spike kind of being integrated into their madness and what does he do, and that's horrific in its own right. And then there's kind of the other kind of story strand, which is Fiennes and Samson and their kind of relationship, which when that's happening, it's a softer aspect to the movie, and it's, you kind of initially I was thinking how is this going to work out, and then the two kind of stories come together and blend together, and it just worked brilliantly. And from narrative structure aspect, it was just excellent, absolutely excellent in terms of that. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I think that there's kind of, it has that wonderful kind of juxtaposition between the horrors of what humanity can do, which is what we see from the Jimmies, and what they not only do to other people, but what they do to each other, ruthless, you know. And then when we see that, we see Ralph Fiennes trying to find the humanity that's still inside, you know, the infected, that he still wants to save the world, despite the fact that there's not really many people left to save. He still has that hope and, you know, love for other creatures and other people. And it's just, I absolutely love his character. Like I know I was saying in the last one, I do think he should be a lot crazier, because it has been 28 years and he's been on his own, you know, living in a fucking bone temple. Like, you know, if you to build a bone temple in the first place, you got to be a little mad. Yeah. But like, I absolutely loved his character, and he's even in the face of, you know, like danger and everything, he just remains so calm. And so like his conversation with Jack O'Connell's character and stuff, and you see
those scenes are brilliant
there, and and he's just, you can see Jack O'Connell, I think, is almost, he seems almost taken aback, his character, that this person isn't terrified of physical. Oh, would you leave? Would you get at it? This person is just as happy to have another human being, because human beings are such a small commodity now. They're such a small thing that he's just happy to have someone to talk to, and he's asking him about his life and his childhood, and they're lovely, lovely scenes. I absolutely thought he was, Ralph Fiennes, I mean, geez, does he ever put in a bad performance, to be fair? Like,
I don't think he can. Yeah, to be honest, like he has a monologue about the world before the fall, when he's talking to Jack O'Connell, and it's just a simple little monologue, but he gives it such weight and such meaning and poignancy to it, and it's just effortless. And their scenes together are brilliant, because Jack O'Connell, again, it's one of the best. Well, it's only started the year, but one of the best villain performances I've seen in a while, because it's not one note at all. Like, he is a terrifying man, but it's Jack O'Connell kind of switches between, there's a gentleness in the scenes with Ralph Fiennes, almost a vulnerability at times, and then pure satanic rage maybe towards the end, but he never overdoes it or overplays it like, I'm a maniac. It's just, it's in his voice, even when he's talking with a family earlier on in the movie, and it's just, he's like, oh yeah, no, we're here in your house, you know, because we were welcomed in and stuff, and you can see behind his eyes that he's you're going to skin somebody alive so shortly. Oh my god, it's just, he's fucking brilliant. He's really, really good to watch. He was brilliant in Sinners, and this, he's just, even dressed absurdly as he is in his flowing blonde locks and tracksuit, he still just looks, you can't take your eyes off him. So those scenes with himself and Fiennes are they're just fucking magical. Two of them are brilliant.
Yeah. You know, not as much with what's his face, the young kid who Alfie Williams from
Spike.
Obviously he had a lot more to do in the first one, and this one not really as much, because you had the interplay between him and Jodie Comer in the last one, and that was really, you know, he was really showing so much emotion. In this, the only emotion he really has is fear. because he's been thrown into this group and he's just obviously terrified of him, terrified of what they want him to do. He doesn't want to hurt people and all this shit. Like, and it's just, yeah. So he's not that he's bad. I still think he's very, very good. It's just the focus is off him a little bit. It is mostly
he takes a backseat. Yeah, big time.
Actually, and speaking of which, like the apart from Samson, the infected take a backseat kind of in this one, you know, and which is interesting because I read that Nia DaCosta actually asked Alex Garland to increase the number of infected because there wasn't as many, it wasn't as much in the original script, and when they were working on it together, she was like, no, we need more of it in, so I don't know whether the scenes at the start or whatever are stuff she wanted added in.
It's only like 2 or 3 kills or something, if even by them.
They keep it to a minimum and make it much more human story.
Humans being the true monsters, which is always the greatest kind of underlying aspect of any kind of monster movie. We are the monsters. Yeah,
I wasn't sure about whether what's his face was going to be in this one. I wasn't sure with Aaron Taylor Johnson whether he was going to be in this one, but we don't get to see him at all. Because I thought he had said that they had filmed 2 movies. He said we filmed 2. I remember that saying that. I go, oh, he must be in because I just assumed he had been. So I don't know. Maybe he was just talking about the royal whatever. You know, I'm not just talking about people in general and not him. I don't know. But
I think that's probably that's a good aspect to this film, that while watching it, I wasn't like initially going in, I was kind of going, okay, Spike is going to be in this when I saw him at the start. Like, right, okay. And I couldn't remember the end of the last movie. It's like, shit, is Aaron Taylor Johnson, did he die? What actually happened? Like, and it's a testament to this movie that it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? It does. It's not essentially a part 2. It's kind of stands on its own, which is all the better for it, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think it's. I would love if we got another one, just because of the way this one ends. I would absolutely love to get a continuation, just to finish it off. You know, would be great because of that kind of epilogue scene that we get.
Yeah.
But I know we talked about performances a bit. I mentioned. Hildur, I'm not going to try it again. Gavudna Dudir, I think, pretty sure that's what it is. But
Hildur it is.
I loved not just the score, but the soundtrack as well. Like the choices that they had.
Duran, man.
Duran and fucking Duran, Radiohead, Iron Maiden. Like it's fucking, yeah. Like it's wild. It's such a cool soundtrack, and there's some real lightheartedness to it. Like even that scene of with the 2 of them, Samson and Ralph Fiennes' character, and we see Kerry Merriman and stuff, and Spike are looking down. She's looking down, so we're going, I don't fucking believe it. Like that. Apparently, that was just 2 of them improvising, messing around, and they just kept it in. And it's just little lighthearted stuff like that. And usually, I wouldn't be a fan of some of that in a movie like this, but I really liked it. Like that scene that we talked about when he has to dial it up to 11. Like that scene, for me, that usually would have been, it's a bit much, but I just thought it fit so well in this movie.
It was a showstopper,
yeah. And it looked fucking great as well. But what did you think of the music in it?
Exceptional. Oh, I loved it. Yeah, the minute Duran started playing, it's like, oh, this is fucking great. We get 2 or 3 songs from them and Radiohead as well. But straight away in the cinema, when Radiohead came on, I was like, oh, because I know that 8 years later, it's 2001 is when the virus kind of hit. I was like, oh, Radiohead, have they made a mistake here? But that came out in 2000, so that song. And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, and even like they're the standout pieces of music, but there's the actual score itself, I thought was excellent as well. It's just using a lot of like bone clicking percussion, and this creates this constant sense of dread and just up in the ante, and it just sets the mood fucking perfectly. When it doesn't need to accompany, crazy zombies running through the woods or anything like that. It's haunting, and it's there, and it's just constantly kind of building, coming in and out at specific times. I just thought, I was really taken aback because I think you only notice that score a few times during the movie, and I think at the end, I would love to check this out. But at the end, a familiar piece of music plays over the credits.
That's kind of the 28 Days Later
Murphy,
music. Yes.
Yeah. That comes on, and you're just like, you're reminded, like, oh, fucking, that's just a banger tune. And that really accentuates the ending, which we'll get to in spoilers. But yeah, I thought the music was brilliant in terms of what they chose from licensed music and the score itself. Just fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. I liked the.
What's her name again? What's her name?
Hilder Gavudna de Tir.
Oh no! Let me check. I got to check. Hilder Guana de Tir. Jesus, yeah. Hilder it is. She's amazing.
Yeah, she's great. And the sound design in general, because there's a lot of stuff where Samson, when he's kind of in his, opiate fucking days, and he's kind of, when he's wandering around, and they really have that kind of, almost like someone tripping out, where you're just kind of hearing just the birds and stuff, and the clicking of the general, just forest sounds, and when he's in the water washing his hands and stuff. The sound design there is just really, really great as well. I was just a big fan of the sound in general. Really, really fits well. Did a great job. So we've gone through the action we've gone through the acting and the music, but cinematography wise, I loved some of the because like you said, it's different from. I was saying to start, it's different from the last 28 years later, because Danny Boyle isn't doing it. Like, it's all Nia DaCosta's style. She wants to do it on her own, and she was very adamant about that. She's like, I'm not making a Danny Boyle movie. He's got his own style. So I was interested to see, would this be too far apart? Would it be shots be just like, whoa, that's jarring compared to the last one? But I loved it. There's some really great stuff. Some of the time lapse scenes that we kind of see in the Bone Temple are fucking awesome. Really, really liked it. There's some great shots. Some of the pan outs, especially from the epilogue and stuff, when we see that, we see just where they are and where, we'll talk about it more in the spoiler section, but like some of those shots are just fucking excellent. Yeah, really, really, really thought it was beautiful to watch.
Yeah, no, especially like there's such a wide range of visual styles that she kind of brought to it. There's, as you say, like there's some beautiful landscape shots, and some of the aerial shots are just fucking excellent. But generally, a lot of the stuff, maybe towards the kind of second half and last act, when it's surrounding the Bone Temple, a lot of kind of steady cam kind of push-ins and stuff, and just like steady cam, like time lapse push-ins as well, as you were talking about. It's just fantastic, and it kind of marries that with some of the kind of handheld, a bit more frenetic stuff in the woods, but it's very kind of limited. But there's also that effective kind of camera on the body shots, just that really wide angle at someone's face as they're walking around, mainly Samson walking around. That's so effective because it just makes sense that it's a different visual style because he is tripping out on fucking morphine. You're just going, okay, yeah, that makes absolutely sense. It makes perfect sense. It's just really inventive. That was one of my worries in terms of somebody else taking over from Danny Boyle. I know we're 28 weeks later. It seemed like a completely different movie, so it was obviously completely different style. But with this kind of being connected to the movie last year, it was interesting to see how she was going to do it visually. But I can't even think of the cinematographer's name, but they did Sean Bobbitt. There we go, Sean Bobbitt. Fair play, did a fucking stellar job, absolutely stellar.
Yeah, I think so too. Like again, as I said, I was a little bit worried because of we're talking about two movies shot back to back by different directors. Like, okay, this could be, and with such a short distance between the two of them getting released. But I think this one surpasses Danny Boyle's with regards to, I suppose, mostly with regards to the script. I just preferred it. I was totally intrigued because I didn't get the whole Jimmy's thing. I was like most people were like, what the fuck is going on? But yeah, when you see the whole movie and just what they're doing, it's almost like him and his lost boys kind of thing, but in the most horrible way possible.
Yeah, and the film fully commits to that, which is fantastic. Like, on paper, it sounds absolutely ridiculous. In execution, it's a fucking absolute complete success. The madness of this feels like something born out of a real broken post-apocalyptic world, and it just makes perfect sense. It's weird. But it's a weird visual, but the fact that they're kind of comic visuals of them and their costumes and hair juxtaposed with the fucking carnage they enact on poor fucking victims it just works brilliantly. It's so horrific, and it's mad to just see someone in blonde locks in a tracksuit doing these horrible things to people. Just like, wow. yeah, disgusting, brilliantly disgusting.
Yeah, I must say I'm very pleasantly surprised by the choices that she made. I I guess I find it. I don't really want to talk about other movies while we're doing this one, but it is strange for her to be able to knock this out. Yet her other movies have been so badly received. And she does have like the style on Candyman. I actually think I mentioned that before in here. I actually quite enjoyed, but it's just I just haven't really. Maybe plot wise, maybe it's the writing on the other ones that are the issue. I don't know.
Or everything on the Marvels. Like, obviously her hand was tied in the Marvels. Almost akin to Chloe Zhao on Eternals. When you're operating inside that bubble, you have certain leeway, but you are aligned in a certain way by the suits and execs and Kevin Feige to a certain degree. And with the Marvels, like it's incredible the difference between, if you saw the Marvels and then saw this and said they're the same director, you tell whoever told you that to go fuck off, that you're an absolute liar. It's kind of impossible. The Marvels doesn't have any visual panache, or it doesn't have anything that this has at all.
Yeah.
Just like, they're completely different movies in obviously in plot and stuff, but in execution and technically and cinematography and everything. Like, the Marvels is an astonishing turd compared to this, which is
it's
great
so
movie.
bad. And I'm a big fan of all the actors in that as well, which is a real bummer. But yeah, with this, maybe it's the fact that the script is tight and you've got like it's one writer. It's just Alex Garland, and the producers, like Alex Garland's one of the producers, along with Danny Boyle and Ida Costa. Like, so there's kind of, you're getting everybody's vision of which way they wanted to go. And when she petitioned for this role in the first place, Danny Boyle would have had to have agreed and signed off on her vision. Like, she helped create that character of Samson, between them and stuff. So it's I think that's why it works for her. I'd love to see more of her. I hope to see her with maybe she gets some better material than what's been handed to her. I think I would be delighted to see more stuff if it comes out looking like this.
Yeah, with a competent writer, she can do wonders, I would imagine.
Yeah, fair play to her. Do you want to do a star rating then before we?
Yeah, I'll give this an easy 4. Yeah, thought it was really, really good. I was thinking about 4.5, but I think between 4 and 4.5, because it ticked all the boxes for me. It's such a small scale movie in terms of it's just following this gang, and it's all told in like one square mile effectively, and it's a small scale story, but also does further the franchise in terms of the outbreak and the zombies and the disease and all of that. It takes interesting steps along the way, where you kind of, it just makes you intrigued for a sequel, which hopefully comes along. But yeah, easy 4 stars. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Yeah, I got the same. Yeah, I think there's the few negatives, I think, but only be stuff like as I said, as much as it worked for me, the kind of zaniness stuff that we'll talk about. Like, it is, I can imagine it would be turning some people off because it's a little, how did you manage to get this whole thing together overnight, pretty much? You know what I mean? It's that. I think as well, I think maybe the budget seems massively inflated to me for a set, because that bone temple is there from the last movie, for the most part is there from the last movie.
There's 2 other sets,
and there's only a couple of sets, and it was 63 million to make. So that, it's a lot of money for this. I don't know how much of it went into the acting, for the actors. It's a lot of money. I'd like to know where it went, because I think the only other saying is a good set, which I really liked at the start, which is that abandoned like recreational center with the swimming pool and stuff, and that's an actual real abandoned thing that they filmed in. So it probably didn't fucking cost them anything to film in that either. Like, cost them fuck all. This scene's an old country, barn or that kind of stuff. There's nothing really, purpose made bar.
They look like real locations that have been a lot of excellent set design on it, but nothing's been constructed. Doesn't look like it.
But it's a great movie. It's brisk at 1 hour and 49. I mean, that's just that's perfect. It doesn't overstay its welcome at all. And fair play to Nia DaCosta. Hopefully, see some more good work from her in the future. And please God, another movie. I hope we just give us the finale. Hopefully this makes enough money, or even does very well on release, that we'll actually get to see a finale to Do you want to then jump onto spoiler section?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's kind of maybe talk a little bit about the stuff that we're going to talk about. Which maybe that you want to start at the end, just talk about the end scene.
Yeah, I completely forgot that there was, reports when this was when the two films were announced that Cillian Murphy, from the trailer, it looked like Cillian Murphy was a zombie, and it was like, oh my god! And it's still amazing that one still from that trailer looks astonishingly like Cillian Murphy. It's amazing. And then someone said that he's not in this movie, but he might be in the next. It was some kind of throwaway comment like that, and that just flew over my head. So when that happened at the end, and he turns up. And it's him and his daughter, and they're just doing some kind of maths fucking exercise in the house. And you're just like, oh, fucking brilliant, because you hear his voice first, and you're just like, oh, no way. Yeah. Then he arrives, and you're just like, Cillian, you fucking dancer. And it's excellent, because they hear something outside, and they get their guns, and they pop out, and they see Spike and the other girl that escaped, the only two that escaped from the Bone Temple at the end. And they see them, and the daughter goes, are we going to help them? And he goes, of course we're going to help them. And then off they go out of frame, and then it cuts. And that's when that music is, that John Murphy music.
But we get that wonderful zoom, because we see him at the window, they're looking at them, and then he runs out with his gun to see them. And then it's that pull away, as you can just see them in the distance running away from maybe a dozen or so, or half a dozen or so infected. And it's like, okay, that's, we'll get this, presumably, if we get another movie, that's what it'll open with. Will just be, Cillian Murphy and this kid rescuing them, and just find out what the fuck he's been doing for the last 28 years.
But straight away it just adds, and that's why it just adds another aspect to the movie, because you're thoroughly enjoying it anyway. And if it ended, you go, this is fucking great. But that ending had you grinning going out. It just reminded me of like watching Batman Begins or something, where it's just great, but then you get your Joker tease at the end. You're just like, oh, I can't wait for the next movie. That's how I felt coming out of this, going, oh, we're going to see Cillian Murphy again. And how much he's changed since that movie fucking came out fucking 20 years ago. But that's just brilliant. And then it pops up, and he's the executive producer on it and everything, and you're just going, cool. This is obviously a franchise that's close to his heart. So I think we're definitely going to get another one. Definitely. With his star power and Danny Boyle, hopefully they can reunite and just fucking go mad again. It'd be brilliant.
Yeah. I'd like that. I'm interested to see where they go with regards to the infected, because
that's very interesting.
Yeah, and I think as well they don't go too mad. Like, what's his face, Samson, when he does finally talk, like he says "moon" first.
Yeah, it's a lovely moment when he says that.
Yeah, and it's just Ralph Fiennes about to, like, he goes like, "This is the only gift I can give you, is basically to kill him." I mean, he's like, "So I don't want you to be in pain. This will kill you." But just as he has the thing in him, he's looking up and goes, "Moon." Holy shit! And then, obviously he makes what he's hoping is going to be some sort of cure, and he gives him these tablets, and off he goes. But like, they don't go mad. He's not all of a sudden coming out of it and being able to speak. He's still out of it and still trying to piece out, and his mind is fucked. And then when he gets into the flash, he gets a flashback because he keeps seeing trains.
The train sequence.
Yeah, when he gets in the train, that's great. Like, and when he's in there, then obviously the infected show up, which usually would be following him as the alpha, and now he knows they're the bad guys, and he fucking rips them a new one.
But it's an interesting avenue to go down, and Ralph Fiennes sells it perfectly well, where he's just kind of trying to tell him, that we talk about this, and it's rage and it's this anger and all this craziness that's infecting your brain and stuff. But he's like, maybe you're just seeing something that is not there, and you're triggered to go towards and murder and kill all these people.
And we only get one glimpse of that at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might, maybe it's psychosis. So he's just like, maybe it's, if we go down the psychotic route in terms of the medicine, and it's just brilliant. It's nice, but he does say that, like, he has exhausted all the medical resources for a 70-mile radius. So you're kind of going, did all that information die with him? It's just like, or did he leave papers underneath in his little bunker or something, some notes for somebody to find?
Yeah. It's an interesting one to see where they'll go with it. And like, I wasn't sure if they carry the Jimmy's thing over to the next one, but like, it's a very contained thing. I assume no one's going to come to Jack O'Connell's rescue. And so the Jimmy's thing is pretty much apart from the epilogue of the last movie, it is just bang, done that. Okay, we're on to the next one. So I wonder, will we get some fucking weird ass shit as well introduced to the next one, another crazy gang, or will we keep it more following Cillian Murphy and his daughter and stuff? So yeah, that's going to be interesting.
But yeah, speaking of the Jimmies, I couldn't believe how gory this movie was, especially the being skinned alive. I can't remember what they say it as, the charity. They keep they name different charities, and someone's saying, "I want to take their jacket off or do something." It's just like, they all have these codes for what different charity they're going to do to somebody, and when they say take their clothes off or something, it's like, what the fuck are they talking about? That means they're just going to skin them alive, and you see somebody slice across the guy's chest, and then you see the fingers go in and pull the lip of the skin off, and then just goes to rip and just kind of cuts to wide, but you see them hanging there, skinned alive.
Oh, it's Hellraiser. It's like Hellraiser
it's just
stuff.
Like fucking Christ almighty. It's just like, oh my God. That's why I love that kind of horror, where it's just like the thoughts of being in that scenario and not being able to get out of that scenario. It's just absolutely fucking terrifying. Or just being that family when they come back after the intro sequence and the Jimmies are sitting in their kitchen with some of their other family or something, and you just know everything's fucked then. Everything's absolutely fucked. They're just like, well, we've just been welcomed in here. We're just going to have some food, and then obviously we're going to kill you. It's just like, oh God. It's just brilliant. Like, I just thought all those were just, directed fantastically. That sense of dread when you don't have to turn it up to 11 at all, with the fucking, there's no maniacal speeches or anything like that. It's just Jack O'Connell's absolute fucking evil eyes on a face that's kind of grinning at you. It's like, oh, fuck off, man. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, the rotten teeth and everything like
that. Yeah, it's just amazing. Yeah. But the Iron Maiden thing,
like, it looks fucking amazing. Like, it's good. He has his fucking, he's all painted up and he's got the candles lit and the whole place, the fucking fire. Like, he puts on his show. But this is only like the day before. They've kind of talked about it. So he's like, all the other shit he has to do, he's going to put together this whole plan.
That's the thing, because Jack O'Connell said, right, because when they have their chat and he says, we're in quite a predicament because my other Jimmies think that you're the devil, and now I know you're not. You're just a doctor called Ian. Like, either you can play along and pretend to be the devil for my friends or from my disciples when they come down, or I'm going to have to feed you your intestines. He says this with a lovely smile. Like, okay. Yeah, and Fiennes is obviously like, okay. But it's like, did you have this all planned? Were you just waiting for someone to ask you to pretend to be the devil because he comes out like pyrotechnics and fucking everything and like music, and he's painted up and pretending to play guitar and going, it looks astonishing, but you're like, yeah, this is just a little bit of a leap in terms of logic, but fuck it, works.
But fun all the same. Like, and when he's inside that,
imagine filming that, like,
like when he's got the fucking the double side, like the barbell kind of thing, and he's fucking swinging that around, there's sparks going everywhere, and all. It's like fucking awesome. That was cool, man.
Yeah, I fucking love that sequence. But yeah, like, it's just ticked all the boxes. Like, ticked all the boxes. I mean, the fact that something like this is so terrifying and scary and all that about zombies, when the zombies are by far the least terrifying thing in the movie whatsoever. Even that sequence in the train with Samson, and you actually, it's amazing, you get to a point you're just like, oh, I hope he doesn't die. You know what I mean? This big giant fucking alpha male brute with a fucking cock the size of your arm.
we see him pulling off like dude's head with the spine, like Predator style. At the start time.
Sub-Zero fatality. It's just Jesus Christ, it was so gory.
Yeah, you're totally rooting for him. Like.
Yeah, I mean, he's fucking fantastic. Yeah, but yeah,
so there we go. Four from each of us. Go and see it for sure.
Happy days. So yeah, thanks for that, Philly. Thoroughly enjoyable trip to the cinema. So go and see it, because my cinema was almost as empty as Phil's, so no one's going to watch it. So yeah, that's an end to this week's episode. Thanks as always for liking, subscribing, sharing, comments and all that jazz. We'll be back next week with No Other Choice, a Park Chan-wook movie, which cannot fucking wait to see.
Yeah.
So stay good, stay healthy. Catch you soon.
Bye.